Welcome, guys. If you're on this video, you've navigated to the right place. You should be in the ELA resources part of OneNote. If you are not there and you're hearing this on someone else's laptop, and you'll see this page, a page that looks like this and has all of this information. Um, we are going to start the process, or you guys are going to learn about annotating today. Annotating is generally something that people, I don't know, students hate and want to pull their hair out for. They just don't generally like it. But it's something that you're going to be doing throughout. It's going to be something you're going to be doing throughout middle school, throughout high school, and especially in college. It'll be something that you'll want to do on your own. And so we're going to start kind of teaching you the process of doing it. And so you'll want to read through this. Essentially, annotating is just making notes out to the side of what you're reading. Um, but we're learning to do it in an organized way. Um, and it says, annotating is simply defined as making critical or explanatory notes or comments about a source. Although you'll often see paraphrasing in summary and annotation, annotation is so much more than that. When annotation is done successfully, the reader can interact with the text more thoughtfully, mindfully, and intentionally work through difficult texts, sort out material, track his or her thinking while reading. Although there is no one right way to annotate, we're going to focus on, I don't know, you guys are going to learn our way, at least today. And so what you're going to do is you're going to use these specific symbols, question marks, um, exclamation points, lines with arrows on each side. Um, Sometimes you'll circle part of the text, sometimes you'll highlight part of the text, um, and then you'll use stars as well. And each one of these different symbols has a different purpose. The question mark makes sense that this is where you're going to basically ask questions. Basically, with annotating, you're writing down your thought processes as you are interacting with the text. It helps you understand it more fully, and it will also help you with the comprehension and retention of the information as well for later on. And so the question mark is something that you'll use to write down a question that you have as you do it. You'll annotate from the beginning to the end. It's not something you skip around and do. It's something that you go through piece by piece and you kind of annotate to the side and add to it as it goes on. The exclamation point. Um, the exclamation point you'll use whenever something is exciting, something shocks you, something that you didn't realize or that was totally different than you would have thought. And you'll make a little note to the side about what that means as well. Um, Line with arrows on each side that actually looks like this, like this thing. That's what I mean by line with arrows on each side. Use that for thoughts, comments, reactions. You'll use that one probably the most. Circle is for you'll circle words that you don't know. Um, you'll write a definition based on the context clues around the word, then look up the word, and if needed, make changes to your definition. You may also write why the author used that word in particular. And I'll show you an example of that in just a second. You'll highlight parts where the author makes particularly strong points to develop their argument. And then you'll put stars next to things. Generally, this will go with the ones that you highlight, or maybe underline. I don't know. If you don't have a highlighter, just underline it. And you'll put a star next to it, or you'll put a line and a star to describe how the author is using that quote to, basically, what is making that particular point effective, or what, I don't know what I'm thinking. Um, And then you'll have a prompt question. Um, I don't know. I'll get there. And so basically, you'll go through this, and you read this article the other day, and so I just wanted to kind of model or show you exactly how these annotations work. And so the very first thing you're going to see in the article is the title. It's going to indicate a lot, and you'll always want to make some sort of comment about the title. So here, the scary reality of a real-life Barbie doll. I read that for the first time, and I read, perhaps this article is going to deal with the weird proportions of Barbie dolls. Maybe, maybe not. And so I keep reading along. I may even make a comment about how old this article is. It's a little old, but still rings true. Um, some people have skeletons in their closet. I have an enormous Barbie in mine. When you read that, obviously you're going to be a little confused, and the author is intentionally working that way. And so what you would do is you might highlight it, do something to indicate that. You might do something like this even, where you just kind of draw. Oh, really? Don't do this to me. Oh my god. Well, that was stupid. Yeah, okay. Hopefully it's not going to break this time. And so you might just draw a line out just to indicate that this question mark is going with this. And you guys are going to do this on paper and not in OneNote because it's going to work a lot better that way. And so I might read, I have an enormous Barbie in mine. Maybe the obvious question there is, why is there a giant Barbie in his closet? That's kind of weird. And so, anyway. Yeah. Okay. So I keep reading. She stands about 6 feet tall with a 39-inch bust, 18-inch waist, and 33-inch hips. Obviously, this would be shocking because that is a very weirdly proportioned body. Much like a Barbie doll is very weirdly proportioned, if blown up, as he found out with this article. And then you're going to have moments. You're going to have moments where you have your questions answered. So I built her as part of a first National Eating Disorder Awareness Week at my high school, later introducing her to Hamilton College during my first NEDA in 2011. That answers this question: why is there a giant Barbie in his closet? They're using it as a prop for the NEDA presentation. The stars. Here, this is how is the author using this quote to develop the argument further. This is what's considered author's craft. Basically, like, how is the author developing their ideas, and like what kind of stylistic choices are they making to make their writing better. And so this paragraph here, the author is using personal experience to make the author more relatable to the reader, so the reader can see themselves in that situation too. This person is talking about when they were a little girl, their experience with Barbies, because Barbies are something that a lot of people deal with. Here, another comment. You can read that. And then I put apathy because, I know what that means, but you might not. I circled that, and so it means lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. The author is using this word because they're wanting to highlight others' lack of concern and also juxtapose apathy with action. Your annotations are not just, I just want to be clear about this, they are not just these little symbols. Your annotations are also these comments out to the side. You need to have complete comments out to the side, complete thoughts, not just a couple of words, but just like complete sentences and complete thoughts. Otherwise, you're not going to get credit for what you're going to be doing today. And so what you'll do that for the entire article. I just did this as an example I just did these as an example, and this is something you can look back at if you're confused about your own. I guarantee that most of your time will be flipping back and forth, looking at what each symbol does, because you'll probably forget it, but eventually it'll become natural, and we'll be doing it quite a bit. So get used to it. Yee-hee! And so the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to make a graphic organizer. And on yours, you have this. But essentially, you're going to identify the main idea. Basically, what was the article about? What was the article about? In this case, the author gives her perspective on her owning Barbie dolls growing up and how they led to her own eating disorder due to unrealistic expectations of the human body. Anyway. And then you'll have your main idea, basically what was the main idea of the article, and then supporting details underneath. What were some major quotes or moments? You'll put you'll put in your own words the three supporting details, and then you'll have 3 quotes that support each of those supporting details from the article. And then finally, you will have a prompt on the sheet of paper that you got or you're getting today. In this case, this is an example of a complete response. This is a complete response. You want it to be complete and not just halfway done. This says, if Mattel were to continue, the question was, is it ethical for Mattel to continue to manufacture Barbie and Ken dolls knowing that the body measurements are used are both inaccurate and non-proportional? A complete answer reads, if Mattel were to continue manufacturing Barbie dolls, knowing how it has impacted women and children, it would be wrong on their conscience. The article reveals from the author's perspective that she had fond times with her Barbie, and she admired her perfect blonde locks and slim figure. At a young age, she felt Barbie represented beauty, perfection, and the ideal for young girls around the world, and this impacted what she thought a beautiful body would look like. And you can read the rest of that. Basically, a complete response needs to be 6 to 9 sentences long, needs to be incomplete sentences. It needs at least 1 to 2 quotes. I'm not too worried about citing yet. We will get better at that as the year goes on, but at least 1 to 2 quotes incorporated at like these are incorporated. I don't expect it to be perfect, but I don't know. Give it a try. And so basically on your assignment today, you have that sheet in front of you. You're going to annotate the entire article. You're going to complete the graphic organizer with main idea and 3 supporting details. Main idea, 3 supporting details in your own words, 3 quotes that support those 3 supporting details in your own words. And then you're going to respond to the prompt. Then, if all of that is done, your assignment will be complete. Anyway, those of you in my class, hopefully I'll be back before too long. We'll see. But until then, thank you guys. Feel free to email Miss Rook or myself, and we will do our best to answer your questions that you have. Don't forget to refer back to this video if you run into questions. Don't forget to refer back to this page if you have questions as well. Thank you guys so much. You have a wonderful day.